Do you want to score 99 or 100 in all of your exams while living a healthy life, not stressing about studying all the time, going out with your friends, and also living your life to the fullest? Then I've got you covered. I might be the last person who you want to hear advices from on how to study because there are already a ton of them out there. But I guarantee you that I'm the best person who will give you advices on how to go from being an academic failure to an academic weapon because I've been there, girl, and I've done that. So stay with me till the end in this video because I'm going to give you a bonus chapter, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because you are going to get study related and self-help content all in one channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So as someone who scored 98 percentile in my 10th SSC board and then dropped on my face in 12th boards by literally scoring half of what I scored in my 10th boards, I can tell you one thing that grades do fucking matter. And as a firstborn daughter in a brown parents' household, I can tell you one thing that the sooner you learn this, the more advantage you will be at. So I know you have clicked onto this video because you're struggling with your academics and you want to keep your grades up. So in this video, you are going to get some solid actionable advices that you can implement starting from right now so that your grades will go up and you will become an academic weapon as soon as possible. Here are the chapters as usual, and let's get into it. Chapter number one, the three important mindset shifts. Number one are your choices. So I read this quote somewhere in a book and it went like, it's not our abilities that define who we are, it's our choices. And let me repeat that. It's not our abilities that define who we are, it's our choices. So you must be thinking, what choices exactly, right? The choice of completing the homework instead of sleeping an hour extra, the choice of revising what was taught in class instead of watching a favorite series. The choice of sacrificing your favorite holidays to score that extra mark on your favorite exams. You have to make these hard sacrifices for your future. If you don't sacrifice your present fun, your future will become the sacrifice. So the choices that we make in our daily life are so important because one choice will lead to another and it will compound into a bigger result at the end of your semester, which you will see in your mark sheet. So choose wisely what your battles are. Number two, be grateful. You know, not everyone has the privilege to study. There are so many kids in this world that do not get to study. They don't have the privilege to go to school or to study or to have education. And you have that privilege and you are not making the best out of it, then what are you really doing? So, to be grateful, you have to change your mindset from I have to do this to I get to do this. And I have told this in my last video also that this mindset shift is very, very powerful. So instead of saying I have to do this assignment, you should be saying that I get to do this assignment. And this way you will be more grateful for the things that you are doing in now. And in this way, your mindset just shifted and aligned with your goal of having good grades. Also, you should be very grateful to the universe for giving you parents who are supporting you in your studies, who are paying your fees for your college and your university. For them, you should work hard, you should score good marks and go and attend lectures every day because not everyone is financially able to go to big and good colleges, and you get to do that. So, hello, what are you doing? You have to study and get good marks. And going to such good colleges, it is a privilege in itself. So you have to realize that and start studying from today. Number three, act like your dream self. The third and the most important mindset shift that you have to do is that you have to act like that you are already that student. The academic weapon, the one who studies on time, the one who gets her assignments on time, the one who studies so much that she is in the top 1% of the class. The importance of imagining that you are that student is that when you imagine it, you start believing it. And when you start believing it, you start acting like it. Like, for example, if you say, I'm a lazy person, then all you will do is rot in bed and scroll reels. How about instead of saying all these bad things, you start saying, I'm an academic weapon, I'm an eye rounder, I'm the most intelligent person, I'm a smart person, I'm a hardworking person. And this all links to positive affirmations. When you affirm such things, there you start acting like it and it becomes a part of your personality. Because the top 1% student, she won't go home and bed rot and scroll reels all day. Instead, she will go home, eat some healthy food, and start doing her homework, revise all her notes that she took in the class, and get up to date with all of her studies so that she doesn't have backlog in any of her subjects. That's how you shift your mindset from being a lazy girl to an academic weapon. So, if you incorporate all of these three mindset shifts in your daily life, I bet you no one will be able to stop you from becoming an academic. Chapter number two, habits of an academic weapon. So let's say now you have a good mindset and you are all fueled up to start studying, but you can't just wake up one day and study all day and become first in class. Like, that's not how it works. For being an academic weapon, you need solid habits and systems in place to get you going for the whole semester. And these small habits will compound into greater outcomes, which you will see at the end of your semester. So, let me tell you some habits which have worked great for me and some of which I have seen the top 1% students do in their life. Habit number one, rate the topic that you are going to be studying in the class. So tomorrow morning you have a class at 8 o'clock and you know that you are going to study chapter number 3 of microbiology. So the thing that you can do is you can just watch a YouTube video regarding the topic that you will be studying tomorrow in your class, or you can just read your book that you have, or any textbook that is available with you. You can just go through it, read it all through. So in this way, you will have knowledge about what is being taught in the class. And if you have any doubts regarding the topic, you can just ask the teacher then and there. In this way, you just made your studying so much more effective than just sitting in the class and listening to what is going on, or just sleeping in the class, which is really bad. When you do this, you get a better understanding of the topics that have been taught in the class, and you retain those topics in your memory for a long time. And also, when you study those topics next time for your exam, you will remember more of what you have studied in the class. Habit number two is to revise what was taught to you in the class after going home. So, revising and writing down notes after going home is literally the most crucial habit that almost all of the top 1% students have. So, after going home from your class, when you go and write down and revise all of the things that were taught to you in the class on the same day, did you form neural links in your brain. And when you revise all these topics on a weekly basis, these neural pathways that are formed in your brain, they become so much more stronger. And you tend to remember more than 90% of the syllabus that you have studied. Plus, when your exams come near, you already have all of the notes ready with you and you just have to revise them. And this makes studying for your exams 10 times easier. Habit number three is to eliminate all of your distractions. So in this day and age, phones are everything. Like, we have online classes on our phone, we have PPTs and PDFs on our phone, and every study material is sent on our phone. And it's just impossible to keep our phone away from us while we are studying. But at the same time, our smartphones are the biggest distraction that we have while studying. So the thing that you can do is you can keep your phone on DND mode or airplane mode. I prefer keeping my phone on airplane mode because then you don't have any notifications or any calls and you can just study peacefully from your mobile. I like to do is I like to download all of my study material to offline mode, and then I put my phone on airplane mode and study all of the time that I want. I know these social media apps are literally the biggest distractions in our life. Like, literally just one notification bell from Instagram and suddenly you're scrolling for an hour. And it's not your fault. It's just how these apps are made. This is all because of the app's interface, because it wants its user to spend more of the time scrolling on the app. But because of this, we get caught up in this vicious cycle of doom scrolling. Our attention span lowers, our dopamine system gets all messed up. But don't worry, I've got you covered here as well. So the best way to study is to not have a phone near you. You can just keep your phone in another room. And if you have a study material on your phone, you can just download it to offline or print it so that you have a physical copy of it from which you can study. But if you really need your phone, the thing that you can do is you can download apps like Pomodoro timers and Forest, which will restrict you from exiting the app so that you study for the amount of time that you have set on the app. You can keep timers on all of your social apps so that you spend less time scrolling and more time studying. Habit number four, use different study techniques to your advantage. There are tons of study techniques on the internet that are available for you to use. For example, mind mapping, active recall, Feynman technique, and so much more. You can use these techniques to study effectively and save your time because smart work is more important than hard work. So I read this method somewhere of giving monetary value to your time. Like, for example, 1 hour of your time equals to 1000 rupees. So if you waste 1 hour of your time, it equals to wasting 1000 rupees. So in this way, you will be less likely to waste your time because we all like money and we don't want to waste our money. And this way, you will feel so much more guilty for procrastinating, and which will drive you to study more, and that will result in getting good grades. I feel like active recall and teaching someone else the topic that you are studying are the best ways to make your concept clear and to understand what you are studying. So for memorization, flashcards are the best. I feel like you should write your flashcards with your own hands so that you revise that while you're writing them down. But if you don't like writing down flashcards or anything, there are so many good websites on Google that will give you ready-made flashcards. You just have to put in information that you want to study. So don't forget to try out different study techniques and choose the one that suits you the most and keep doing it. And this way you will be studying so much more effectively and not wasting your time. Also tell me in the comments, should I make a video on different study techniques in depth? Habit number 5 is to solve previous year question papers. So the last but not the least is to solve all of your PYQs. I always used to just go through the PYQs and solve all the important or the repeated questions and just, mark them. But from last semester, I started to solve the whole PYQ paper, and that has benefited me so much more in my studies. So how this works is that when you solve the question paper, you get an idea about the time that you utilize for solving each question. And with this information, you can effectively manage your time in your semester examination so that none of the questions remain unattended. So when you solve these question papers, you get an idea of the type of questions that are asked in the question papers for your exam, and you can study accordingly. So for topics like physics and mathematics, you can write down important formulas and stick them on your wall in your house or in your room so that every day when you study, you go through the formula, and when you go through these formulas on a daily basis, you form neural pathways which will help you to fit these formulas forever in your head, and you won't forget even a single formula. And since I'm a science student, I know how important diagrams are for papers like microbiology or biology or science in general. So for diagrams, I will advise you to practice those diagrams at least 3 to 4 times. Also in diagrams, namings are the most important. You have to get all of the namings correct. Even if your diagram is not up to date or not very good or artistic, the most important thing is to name them correctly, and you will get your full marks for your diagram. So these are the 5 important habits that almost all of the top 1% students have. And if you start to incorporate these in your daily life, I bet you will be an academic weapon in no time. Chapter number 3, don't be afraid to stand out. So to live an extraordinary life tomorrow, you need to live an extraordinary life today. So don't be afraid to stand out from the rest of the class, or don't ever be afraid to be different from the masses. You can't be number one if you're not odd. So just do what is most important for yourself and your grades and your future. So what I mean by that is, if all of your friends are going to party on a Saturday night and you still have one chapter left to study, prioritize your studies and don't be afraid to say no to them. Also, if you don't like group studying, just politely say no to your friends or your classmates, because at the end of the day, there is only one topper in the class. And in the 4 years of my college experience, I have learned that you can't be a people pleaser and a topper. They both just don't go hand in hand. So you have to choose one, and don't be afraid to choose yourself. Also, ask questions, interact with your professors and teachers, and never be afraid to ask questions to anyone. I have realized this so late, but it is so important to interact with your professors or teachers in your college, because they have really great insights and they can help you so much in your studies. Plus, when you're interactive in your classes, you make a good impression on your teachers, and then in the future, if you have any doubts or any difficulties, these are the teachers that will help you in solving all of your doubts. Also, you leave a good impression on them and you stand out from rest of the class. Chapter number 4, don't forget to have balance in your life. Being an academic weapon is the goal of your life, and it is a really good goal, and I'm very proud of you that you are working towards something that you want. But at the same time, you need to realize that these are the teenage years of your life and these years will never come again. So just have a balance in your life. Go out with your friends and also participate in college events or sports or all the competitions that are held in your college, because these are the ones that will add to your extracurricular activities, and this will test your smartness, your agility, your companionship and your leadership. So it is very important to show your participation in all of the other things aside from studying because it shows that you are an all-rounder. And when you go for higher studies, the universities, they will definitely see your CGPA, but with that, they will also see your extracurriculars. And you have to be really good in your extracurriculars as well because that what shapes you as a person. It's really great to be academically intelligent, but at the same time, you need to be socially smart too. So go out, meet new people, live all of your life experience because this experience will teach you so much more that you won't learn in your books. Also, I feel like self-help books are a great way to occupy your free time because they teach you good things, plus you discover so many new facts, plus they are interesting too. Also, I will advise you to take solo trips or trips in general to mountains or in nature, like to beaches or anywhere where you can connect with nature because connecting with nature it just heals you. It gives you a sense of peace. And by connecting with nature and being peaceful in life, you will thrive more in your academic life. Also, if you feel lethargic studying on your study desk at home, change your environment. Go to a cafe or a library because there are so many people that are studying or doing that work in the same environment. And when you go in such environments, you will feel more likely to study or do your work or complete your assignment. Balance is very much important in food too. You must be wondering what relation food has with your studies. Well, let me tell you that it has a very big role to play in your study because whole and healthy foods they help you to feel fresh while sugary and fast foods makes you feel lethargic and lazy. So it's so much important to keep a balanced and healthy diet so that you thrive more in your academics as well as in your personal. So finally with that we have come to the end of this video. Tell me in the comments which advice you like the most. And don't forget to start right away because the earlier you will start, the more further you will go. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more of such study related and self help content. So, see you in the next video. Till then, bye.